Seeing none, ma'am, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. The next speaker is Swaranjit Singh Khalsa, and I apologize if I misstated your name. If you could please state your name for the record. And
yes,
the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. This is Swaranjit Singh Khalsa, Member Board of Education, Norwich, as well as serving member of World Sikh Parliament, representing the Sikh community of Connecticut. First of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to testify in favor of Senate Bill number 120, which will allow Sikhs to serve their communities as a police officer. I would just like to enlighten the point that Sikhism is the 5th largest independent, organized, and ethnic religion, which has been recognized in our state through various official citations, proclamations, and there has been bill in our legislation to recognize Sikh community as well. Not taking much of your time, I would like to highlight that Sikhs are living in Connecticut over 50 years, and they are not just contributing economically, but to the cultural fabric of this state as well. And allowing Sikhs to serve with their articles of faith will not just boost a spirit in them. And I would like to tell you that Sikh turban is known as Dastaar. That's the right name for Sikh turban. And it's an integral part of the faith, and it shows Sikh commitment to uphold the dignity, freedom, social justice, and equality for all. So it is very important that we allow Sikhs to serve with their Dastars. After 9/11, there has been a lot of hate crimes and incidents, especially the way we look, and there's a lot of ignorance. But despite of the fact, Sikhs are still serving their faith as well as their community with their pride and with their articles of faith. It is my pleasure to inform you that NYPD has also done the same thing, and even the Houston police has done the same thing as well. And we have now more than 100 police officers serving in NYPD with their articles of faith and the star. Just to give you a glance, like police officer have his uniform. This is Sikh uniform, the star, other articles of faith, unshorn here. So it will allow Sikhs to complement police officer with the Sikh uniform. So I would like you to see this bill as a complement to our police department, and they will be able to hire officers to reflect our diversity. And respectfully saying that we should welcome these kind of bills that reflect who we are as a state. And not taking much of your time, I just want to say, it is Sikhs feel very proud living in the state who has recognized even some of the historical facts of Sikh history, like Sikh genocide. We wish we have more police officer at that time serving the community so we could save more people. So we do understand how important law enforcement is, and we do understand the value that diversity will bring to the law enforcement. I have been giving many presentations. We have trained over 1,200 officers under the program called AMS, which was started under Obama administration to educate police officers about cultural competency. And it has broken those barriers and broken those ignorances and created a better relationship between Sikh community as well as our law enforcement community. And we look forward to do that more. And with this bill coming to the existence, I will be very happy to see a lot of Sikh officers with their turbans having brooch right here for their PD and serving their communities with pride. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And just want to let you know, even World War I, World War II, Sikhs have contributed a lot. And even there was a question by Chief Mello. Sikhs have passed the gas mask exam, and they have been given accommodation even to serve in US Army. So we do have our people who are even serving our country. So I don't see as any barrier Sikh faith, uh, articles of faith bring to this line of job. And I think you are doing wonderful thing by uh, by recognizing this bill. So thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you, sir. I see Senator Austin had her hand up first. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Senator. First, I want to thank you very much for all the work that you do in the Norwich area vis-a-vis making sure that everybody's rights are protected. You're an active voice in the community, and I think that that's very necessary. You've been an active voice on the Board of Education to make sure that people recognize different communities, whether wherever they come from, and that's very, very important. And you have put not only your time and your community's time into the region, but quite frankly, you put your own dollars into the community. So I just want to say thank you very much, and I look forward to supporting this bill out of committee and hopefully into becoming law. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Representative Vail, you were next in line, followed by Senator Champagne.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon. Don't you think that this is something that we should look beyond just police into, again, the previous testifier mentioned all state agencies and all professions? You know, I'm a former Department of Corrections employee. You know, it should hold the same precedent there. So shouldn't this bill be a little bit broader? And what your opinion is about that?
Mr. Khalsa, can you hear us, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I got that question, why this shouldn't be more broader. There is no doubt that it should be more broader, but at this point, we do have people of our community interested in law enforcement. And as somebody said, necessity is a mother of invention. So I think if we have people who wants to serve their communities in law enforcement, this is the first step we should provide. So they do have access to serve their communities, and we look forward for that. And a lot of inspiration for young Sikhs has been coming from NYPD, and they feel very proud when they see their brothers and sisters serving in NYPD with their Dastaars, with their articles of faith, and helping community. You know, Sikhism came out of oppression, and when people used to see Sikhs, you know, they can call for help, just like the police officer. So I'm trying to explain there's very close relationship between the law enforcement and the Sikh community, and the way Sikh community see law enforcement. And you know, as I told, you know, this is part of Sikh uniform, and we want to make sure Sikhs can, you know, work in this line with their faith without compromising anything. And as I gave you examples in Houston, Sandeep Singh Taliwal has also served as a deputy sheriff, and you know, he lost his life in this line of work, but I should say service. And there has been even post office that has been going on his name. So people want to serve communities, and we have some requests, and this is why we are advocating for specifically allowing them to serve in a police uniform. But just for your knowledge, my own brother is serving in New Jersey in EMT, and he don't have any trouble. He is a Sikh man with the turban. So seems like when we get to that point, when we have people interested in other jobs, or if they're facing any difficulties, then we should proceed further with that. but we do have considerable growing community here. And, we would like to make sure they do have opportunity to serve in their communities. Thank you so much.
And again, you mentioned New York City and Houston. Those are cities. So right now, as it stands, there's nothing in statute that prohibits a municipality right now from allowing the turban, correct? So the point of this would be to make sure at the state level that everyone opens up that opportunity. But
exactly,
is there any situation now where that is not allowed in the state?
Thing is that we are trying to create a comfort level and make a statement that we welcome people who look different, as well as we do want inclusion. And this will not just generate a dialogue, but even if you talk to chief of the police, sometimes it's just hard to spread a word. And I think this will do the purpose that we do welcome everyone, because sometimes it's just back of the head of people, no, I cannot do that job. They won't welcome me with the turban. They don't have any laws regarding that. But now if we have a piece of legislation in front of us, then we can, say to even our own communities, look, state has done this for you. Now it is your job to participate and make sure you serve your community. Now you don't have anything to say that you cannot do it. It's part of legislation. So we do want to promote our kids in law enforcement. This gives them a more broader sense of belonging to this place, as well as it will help us to break some of those barriers and perceptions that has been created. And I think it goes both ways. Even what Sikh community have seen back home in India, they don't really have good perception of law enforcement. So our goal is when they will participate in this activities and become police officers, they will be able to create a better relationship with the law enforcement. And of course, this bill is not just limited to Sikh community, even somebody else who has an article of faith. And, but for our community, this is an obligation. And there was a survey that 99% people in America who wear head covering are Sikhs, because we cannot go outside. This is part of who we are. We don't have any other way out. We have to wear turban, and not just it's limited to the men, even the women if they want, but I will say at this point, most of the men are obligated to have a turban, and a lot of women do wear headscarf or something to cover their head. But for men, there is no other way out. This is part of our uniform. We cannot go outside our home without our Dastars. And I think once this bill is passed, you will see and you will feel proud when you will see somebody from Punjab whose last name is Singh serving the community. And thing is that they enjoy this line of work. They have been brought up that way to help community. And, this will help them, give them not just exposure, but will help them to help their own communities where they live in.
I understand. Again, I was in the Department of Corrections, and we had very strict uniform policies. So I had a long beard, which was frowned upon, and I actually had long hair, and I wore a ponytail, and but that was frowned upon as well. So I can relate to that. But their argument was, for safety purposes, that was an issue. So we had to have our hair tucked up and done a certain way. I can certainly relate to this. But yeah, I appreciate your testimony, and I look forward to hearing more about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Look forward to work with you all.
Senator Champagne, the floor is yours.
And thank you so much for showing up today. Anytime we can add more people into the pool of police officers, I am very grateful. And if this is what it takes, I'm happy to vote for this law. And when you made the comment that you would wear your star, and then you put the police badge on the front. I can picture it, and I like it. So thank you for coming in today, and thank you for educating us a little bit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. I don't believe there's any further questions. I see people still with their hands up, but I know all those had an opportunity to speak. So, sir, thank you. Any further questions from members of this committee? Seeing none, sir, thank you for your testimony. Thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing your beautiful religion and culture with us and enlightening us as what that process would look like. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
I believe next we have Mr. Mohinder Khalsa. And again, I apologize if I mispronounced your name. If you could please state your name for the record, and the floor is yours. You have 3 minutes. Madam Chair, is Mr. Khalsa available or online with us?
I think I'm here.
He's muted.
Yeah, he's still muted.
Yes, good up. Yes, can you hear me now?
No, we can hear you now. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
The floor is yours. You have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Mohinder Singh Khalsa. Mr. Chair, all the members of the Safety and Security Committee, good afternoon. I'm from Norwich, Connecticut. It's I believe it's the 25th district. Bob Duff is our senator from this area. This SB 120 has been co-sponsored by 4 senators. I really appreciate that. And one of them is Bob Duff and Saad Anwar. He has given a great testimony. And then Kathy Austin and Gary Winfield. I appreciate their kinder and gentler. I really appreciate them, I'm a Sikh by my turban, by my faith. And just for your information, I'm not the only one. If you look at the Attorney General of New Jersey, Attorney General, he's a Gurpreet Grewal, he's a Sikh gentleman. If you look at the mayor of city of Hoboken in New Jersey, he's a Sikh gentleman. If you look at my own nephew, who is an Army officer, he's a lieutenant colonel in the Army. He's a Sikh gentleman. My own son, he is heading up the anesthesiology department at a hospital special surgery, as well as Stanford Hospital. He's the director of the program. He's a Sikh gentleman. Look at the NYPD. There's so many Sikh gentlemen. Look at the sheriff who has lost his life in Houston. Okay? And there are many other Sikh police officers in California. Okay? So your action of approving the turban in the place for will be consistent with your amendment number 1 of the Constitution of United States, where it says freedom of religion, okay, speech and press. You all know what the amendment number 1 is here. Okay, I would like to request the Senate as well as the state of Connecticut to accommodate a turban Sikh with the article of faith in the state place to end the discrimination practices against those who believes to wear religious headgear as a part of their faith. Okay, this is again, as mentioned, a practice of your religion. Wearing a turban is essential part of Sikh faith. That was founded in 1469. Somebody made a comment here, I was listening to it came, a religion was raised, not this particular religion, but a religion came in 2005. No, this Sikh religion came into existence by 1469. And the founder denounced the discrimination against women, rejected the caste system, and preached equality of all men and women and a commitment to human rights. For Sikhs, wearing a turban is a distinguished feature of Sikh way of life that represents honor. It's not a spaghetti. It represents a honor, self-respect, courage, and mark respect for their teachers and the gurus, token of blessings, and symbol of royalty. Just like Mr. Singh has mentioned that here. You're wearing a turban, you're putting a badge, and when I look at my nephew, who's in the US Army as a lieutenant colonel, that's what he does. In fact, I have sent with my testimony, I have sent the pictures along with that. You cannot see it here. Okay. The turban, we call it the Dastaar, is an insignia of Sikh history, who has sacrificed a life for the cause of righteousness, upholding the sanctuary and religious value. Okay.
I'm sorry. You've hit your 3-minute mark. If you don't mind wrapping up, please.
Okay, sure. And therefore, I will strongly, I will suggest that we should, the state should consider our request, allow the Turban Sikhs to be in the police force, And I do thank you very much for everything.
Thank you, sir. Is there any questions from members of this committee at this time? Seeing none, sir, thank you for your testimony.